Well, there seems to be a general consensus that building a stronger energy sector would power the industrialization process in Africa. And Nigeria, having the largest population on the continent, apart from being an investment destination, remains a country investors cannot afford to ignore. Panelists at the World Economic Forum Africa session on energy agreed that increasing interest should be given to the energy sector in Africa in order to grow the economy.
We have become Africa's largest producer in terms of oil and gas. Unfortunately, how that is parlayed into actual real engagement of the polity all the way down the spectrum is a different issue altogether. I think for too long, Africa's middle class has had a squeeze. So you actually begin to have the wealthy and, of course, the poor, to put it in the best way possible. I think the work ahead of us now is to ensure that the output of these resources is adequately and efficiently, not to mention expediently, deployed all the way across the spectrum. And I think that feeds into so many aspects of our development in Africa, in terms of our economies, both in terms of the security issues we're seeing arising all over Africa, and the development nexus as well, both inside our nation states and across regional development zones in Africa.
The question for African leadership today is the following. How do you capitalize on that resource to power your economies towards industrialization and economic diversification? It is that target that will make them realize the crucial importance of energy. And within that context, again, regional initiatives that make those markets attractive. Some can generate power and sell to others. Right. And we can all be lifted into prosperity. Those are the issues now we should look at, because what I hear a lot is LNG, LNG.
There are a significant share of the population is really in the rural areas that are at great distances from these power centers. And so there's really a need for a new generation of technologies that will be driven through off-grid solutions, through smaller companies that will both generate and distribute, through household-level solutions. I think we're about on the eve of a lot of new innovation and technology to see how can we make energy affordable, accessible to even the most remote rural communities on the continent.
And to be thinking about resources like gas and oil, it's our view, so I'm with the company called D-Light. We make these decentralized off-grid solutions. And because I'm a product person, I have to just always show in examples to capture people's imagination. We make products, everything, from something small scale solar up to solar home systems. But this is an example of a product. You charge it in the sun and you get 4 hours of light at night. It replaces a kerosene lamp. So it's an example of, and we've been doubling every year in scale. We're currently selling up to 500,000 units every month, half of which in Africa. So there's clearly a demand and a growing demand for these products. And what we find, and in addition to that, once people get access to these kinds of solutions, they want more power. They want to charge more devices and do more things.
The minister said we have a power system that is just coming. It's just been, the companies will start low and eventually kick off. But the difference is you cannot ignore a market that has 4,000 megawatts of installed capacity and has 4 times the population of South Africa, and South Africa has 40,000 megawatts. So we need 40 times the investment to increase the GDP per capita consumption of electricity. So it will evolve and it will happen.